We're with you guys until tip-off between the Hornets and Spurs. Again, it's coming up here just in about an hour and a half or so. Guys, before we get into any of it, what's it like going back to a place like San Antonio, back to a place where you hold so many memories, where there was so much significance to your time in that jersey? What are your expectations for Tony's return?
I think he left very amicably. I don't think it was a problem. I think Kawhi left under different circumstances. I think Tony's going back and just said, hey, look, I had a great run here, have an opportunity to go to Charlotte, make a few more bucks, and probably sign another contract. And, and Pop is one of those guys. He told Boban to go ahead and sign a contract. He said, we're not going to pay you that much. I'm sure he looked at Tony and said, they're going to pay you that? Yeah. Good luck, baby. Good. And so I think he's coming back under circumstances that are really nice. So what that does to you, it's like every time I would go back and look just to the Boston Garden, it just felt like home. You just walked in, you're so comfortable there. You've won championships there. You've been together, part of something really just beautiful and fun. And it's really a nice feeling. Really, I mean, even to this day, I go back and it's not the old garden that I played in and stuff, but Boston's always just a special place for me to go. I imagine for Tony, he walks in and is flooded with emotion of just like, look what I was able to accomplish here, especially where he came from. You got to remember, he was drafted late in the first round, and he was everybody went, ooh, they took Tony Parker with 29 or whatever he was. The kid from France, the point guard. They're like, oh, he doesn't shoot it very well. He doesn't do all this stuff. And he turned himself into a Hall of Fame type player. So he just feels great going in there tonight.
I can confirm, by the way, I have been to the TD Garden with Kevin, and about every 6 seconds as we're trying to make our way to the dressing room, somebody stops him that was there and loved you during your time with the Celtics, which is a really special thing.
Yeah, it's fun.
Coach, as Tony makes his return, what are your expectations?
Look, there are nothing but good feelings on both sides of this. In the offseason, before the injuries set into the guards with San Antonio, Pop had to make decisions with his front office. Is it time to move on? And they had a plethora of young guards that needed to get their opportunity, their chance. He understood that Tony had a chance to go to another program, as Kevin said, sign a contract there, that Pop couldn't invest a couple more years in Tony when he had these young guys waiting. It was time to turn the page and move on. But the love that has gone on between the two of them, I can remember being in Europe when Pop went over to see the guy that they were going to take in the draft. And Tony was on the bench. He did not start for the French national team. And when the game started, the team got down about 16 points right away. The coach put Tony in, and they cut it back to 4. Coach took Tony out, and they went back down 16 or 18 again. He put him back in. They cut it back to 4 or 5. And I'm sitting next to Pop, and Pop says, am I not getting this? When he's on the floor, they do pretty well. I can remember that.
Well, Tony Parker spent 17 years in San Antonio, helping the Spurs win 4 titles, earning Finals MVP honors in 2007, as well as 6 trips to the All-Star game. So Tony makes his first return to San Antonio tonight. He had this to say earlier today.
Already it's a little different. You'll get ready for a game, but how did it feel just stepping out wearing teal and purple as opposed to silver and black today?
Very emotional, obviously. Very nostalgic since I arrived in San Antonio. Didn't see my home for 4 months, so it just feels good to be home and see seeing everybody, family faces, and just all the love from the city of San Antonio. So I'm excited and I can't wait for tonight.
17 years here, you win 4 championships, a Finals MVP. Did you ever think you'd wear another uniform at any point in your career?
No, never. Thought I will finish in San Antonio.
Did they have to show you where the visitors' locker room was?
No, I knew where it was. I knew where it was because when I play against French guys, I always come say hi, but definitely didn't go over there a lot, that's for sure. So that's different.
Tony, what do you expect tonight? These fans, they love you. Just to get to it. What are you expecting?
Just gonna have fun, and reflect on all the great years, we had here, and talking with Timmy yesterday, he came to my house. It was just you start talking like an old guy. You know what I mean? Like time goes fast, man. That's all I can say. Time goes really fast, and we just had great years. And changing team, you appreciate even more. What we had here in San Antonio. It was very special. With Timmy and Manu and Coach Pop and all the great teammates that I play over the years and all the stuff we were able to accomplish here. It was amazing. And so when you change team, I don't know, it makes you realize even more. And it's just hard to put it in perspective. But now I can do it like a little bit.
It's a different type of challenge with this Hornets team. 17 years, you guys never really worried about making the playoffs, and here you are in a playoff push in the Eastern Conference. So how much does that energize you in a weird way where you're not maybe competing for an NBA championship, but you want to push this team over the top and get back to the playoffs and do it as a veteran in this league?
It's just a different challenge, and that's what I was looking for. And we're just trying to, fight with the young team. We got a lot of young guys in this team, and they try to, find their way in this league. And as a veteran, try to help them as much as I can.
Is it any more easy, I guess, or more fun knowing that you got JB alongside as you try to bring some of these lessons learned, like you're talking about, from San Antonio to this team?
It definitely helps on a day-to-day basis because he knows where I'm coming from, and so it definitely helps to have somebody who went through the same stuff and just try to, as I'm trying to do, try to help them and try to lead them and try to make the playoffs for the city of Charlotte.
Tony, I saw you mentioned ESPN that it basically came down to the Spurs wanted you to be a third-string point guard, and you thought you had more to give than that. Is that kind of what the whole reasoning was?
I'm not going to go back to that. I just want to enjoy today, and I'm very happy to be here.
Tony, what about Pop? I mean, he says you're like a son to him. Is he like a dad to you, a second dad, or?
Yeah, definitely. He's definitely like a second dad. I have a very, very special relationship, with Coach Pop. It goes beyond, basketball. Especially when you're a point guard, you're already going to have like a special relationship with your coach. But when you come at 19 years old and what we went through together as we grow and try to, establish ourselves in this league and try to win, because it's very hard to win in this league consistently. And so it was just very special. And I will always be grateful that everything that he helped me, in this league. And I'm just very happy to see him today and spend some time. And just like I did with Timmy yesterday, just being nostalgic. We're not going to drink red wine because I have a game, to play. But it's definitely going to be nice to see him before the game.
Have you kept up with Manu?
Yeah, same thing with Manu, of course. Manu is chilling right now, he just retired, so he's in Argentina right now. But he already texted me many times. He's been following, my games. I remember he texted me after the Brooklyn game, because I just saw Sean Marks, and so we were talking after that game. And so I'm excited to come back to Manu's retirement jersey, because they asked me to talk, for his to start the party, just like I did for Timmy. So it's a great honor to talk at Manu's retirement jersey, and I'm looking forward to it.
As a former NBA Coach of the Year, you could obviously describe the kind of relationships that you have with your players along the way, but what Tony and Coach Pop have is certainly something special.
Without question, coming in as young as he was into the league, let's go back. Who was there before Tony Parker? You talk about Avery Johnson, Terry Porter, and now here comes Tony Parker, and as a rookie, he started 72 games for San Antonio. And this was a guy who Pop made him come into his office every game night before the game and sit and let's talk about offense. What are we looking for? Let's talk about defensively. What are we doing? He took them step by step and walked them through this and preparing this young man to be a world champion and an all-star, and I'll be a Hall of Famer down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he grew so much too as a player there. I mean, when I first started seeing him, he was a little bit wild. Took some shots. His shot selection was a little bit. And within a year or two, boy, he had really just condensed his game down to what he did well. And by the way, he was a great finisher. One of the best finishers for a small guy in the paint that I've seen in a long time. Clever, using the basket, going to either side. But yeah, I was really surprised how he kind of took his game, which I thought was a little bit wild, and brought it into a San Antonio Spurs type game and kept that just controlled pace, controlled game for his entire career there.
Well, before we continue looking ahead to Tony's return to San Antonio, let's throw it back. We're going retro with Tony Parker in honor of his, like you said, probably Hall of Fame career.
That was a masterpiece. He's going crazy. A cold-blooded game-winning shot. It's been the Tony Parker show.
From Paris, number 9, Tony Parker.
They love this kid. He's a jet.
Here he comes in 5 games out of the gate. He's starting for us.
My goal is, I don't want to make you John Stockton because you can score, but I like to bring you here. And you did it.
I think Tony Parker is always underrated.
He is developed into one of the best point guards in the NBA. Just a winner.
Can Parker do it again? Yes! He is a wizard in the paint. Or spin and score like that!
I can't say enough about the job that Tony Parker has done.
I'm just happy he's on my team.
It's a system here. 17 straight 50-win seasons.
Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker are the all-time winningest trio in NBA playoff history.
And they're such a unique part of the history of the league and of this franchise.
They're all together in that humble approach to their success.
I help you, you help me, you know?
We work the right way. We work together.
You know, it's really hard to go to the finals, to win a championship.
The San Antonio Spurs are your world champion.
The San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.
Oh, what a shot from Parker. Lightning fast, and then a circus shot as he falls down. Parker, another pretty move and finish. Sensational play from Tony Parker. The San Antonio Spurs are NBA champions once again. Their fourth title in 9 years.
To the MVP of the 2007 NBA Finals, Tony Parker, we say congratulations and bon chance.
It's like a dream. I want to thank my teammates, you know, they've been great.
He was unbelievable. He was great. He carried the team.
Made a lot of things happen for us in a lot of ways. He was super.
Oh, beautiful hesitation and floats it in. Parker pushes, Parker finishes. In 2014, the best team in the NBA resides once again in San Antonio, Texas.
It's been a long time. It makes it even sweeter. That's why I say it's the sweetest one. And I'm very blessed to be here in the city of San Antonio because you make it very fun. What we have is very special. We'll have a special bond for life.
Number one again!
Yeah! 7 years, man.
We're back.
Just you don't want to.
We're back.
We're with you until tip-off between the Hornets and Spurs as Tony Parker makes his return to San Antonio.